Hi, I'm Judy, your Read the Stars astrologer, and today we have an article about Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber was an awesome running back in the early part of the 2000, 2001, along there somewhere. Well, all the way he retired in 2007, and he was a New York Giants player. New York fans are very interesting. For those of you who don't know, I lived in New York for a long, long time, so I kind of know these things. And in the article, there's a picture of a child who can't be more than 3 or 4 years old, and he's doing something very interesting that I'm going to address toward the end of the video. But I want to talk about how this works with Read the Stars. Okay, so Tiki is in Aries, right? And Uranus, the planet of revolution, and I'm going to make a comeback, and I can do anything, is coming into his sign. And so he figures, I can do anything. So he's like jumping, saying, I'm going to be coming back, and, I'm going to try to get signed up by a team. And he's making some progress already, by the way, even though, this was only revealed very, very recently. So anyhow, Tiki has Uranus fueling him, and I talk in the article about how this could happen. And then I talk about some other things going on in Tiki's chart, because most Aries people also have Saturn working on them right now. Because Saturn is in Libra, which is opposite, on the opposite side of the zodiac from Aries. So there's like this, this force of like, oh, no, you can't, on top of the Aries. Oh, yes, I can! So most Aries are very conflicted right now. In fact, all of us are, because of this polarity, given that, there are just so many things going on in those two signs. It's just that it affects different areas of our lives. And you can find out what area of life it is for you by looking at some of the articles that I had up, like the one about, know your Uranus is very important. And that is how we pronounce it, Uranus, okay? So, then I wouldn't say you're or anything anyway. I was taught grammar by some very competent sisters of St. Joseph, and they taught me correctly. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about that and how Saturn was, coming back onto Tiki, as well as, Uranus pushing him up, Saturn pushing him down. And one of the photographs of the little boy making a gesture is actually, each of our fingers is assigned to a planet, and the one that is assigned to Saturn is being pointed at Tiki Barber in the photograph, and I found that to be kind of interesting, but you might not want to show that to people who are under a certain age, but I doubt they would be Read the Stars to begin with. But I just thought I'd mention that. And what else is going on in the world? We still have Libya imploding. We still have China brewing a couple of things going on over there. And of course, we have the Day of Rage scheduled for March 11th, which is just a day away. And that's when Uranus will come into Aries. We'll talk a little more about that later. But right now, let's just stay with some fun observations about the celebrity Tiki Barber. And I want to ask you a question. Who do you know who's doing something like kind of wild and crazy right now? Besides me, that is. And what do you think about your own life right now? Where are you going? Send some comments right back to the article. You might be surprised. I might also comment on the article, and we can get a little conversation going. It will be fun. So keep on coming back. ReadTheStars.com.